Today, there's a new video that's emerged online of an iconic carnival funnel from a cruise ship crashing down into the ocean. We're going to watch that video in today's episode. The MSC Virtuosa Superspreader saga continues. We'll hear the story of an elderly couple who says they received false hope that their cruise would be safe. Yet another Caribbean nation gets added to the CDC's Do Not Travel list. There's a new ship expected to depart from San Diego in just 5 days from now. The country of Brazil makes a decision about cruising. I wonder what they chose. Plus, I let you in on a major secret of a source that I use when I book every single one of my cruises. All this coming up on Midships. Hey, welcome to the Midships YouTube channel. I'm your Captain Corey. Thank you so much for stopping by the channel today. I want to remind you as we're starting out today that our cruise swag giveaway is currently going on. If you haven't yet taken the opportunity to enter to win this week's cruise swag, and of course this week we're giving away this totally awesome cable organizer for your travels. I just used this aboard my MSC Divina cruise. It was a game changer for me. I will leave a link in the description below for you to get entered, as well as I'll pin it up in this upper right hand corner. Just watch the video on the other side of the link and you'll get all the information within the first 2 minutes of how you could be entered to win that cruise swag. Now, if you're curious about all of the cruise swag that we give away here on the channel, there are Amazon affiliate links in the description below. Simply clicking the link does kick back to the channel just a little bit, and it doesn't cost you any extra money if you decide to order something. So over the past few weeks, we've reported about the MSC Virtuosa and a so-called super spreader COVID event that's been occurring on board the ship. Now, another story has emerged, and I'd like to cover it for you now. From the liverpoolecho.co.uk by author Zoe Peck, elderly couple was given false sense of security aboard MSC Virtuosa cruise. An elderly couple have slammed promises made by the organizers of the MSC Virtuosa cruise ship as having lulled them into a false sense of security. James and Irene White, both in their 70s, from Up Holland, tested positive for coronavirus while in hospital on September 8th, just after disembarking the MSC Virtuosa in Liverpool the day before. James believes they caught the virus during the week-long voyage, and he added the COVID-safe measures shown in MSC's advertising lulled them into a false sense of security. James is quoted as saying, "We were told there would only be a small number of passengers, that there would be social distancing between the tables, and that all food would be served by staff instead of by passengers." He went on to say there was no distancing of tables, and it was self-service for food until Southampton, when the buffet was suddenly shut down. "We didn't see any deep cleaning, and we were never told there was an outbreak while we were on the cruise." After arriving back in Liverpool, Irene began having difficulty breathing and was taken to hospital by an ambulance on September 8th. Whilst in hospital, she was given oxygen, and although she has now recovered, James described the experience as horrendous. It should be noted a spokesperson for MSC Cruises was quoted in the article as well. "We are sorry to hear that Mr. and Mrs. White and Mr. Woods received positive tests upon their return home after their cruise with us." So it looks like MSC is staying rather tight-lipped on everything that's occurred aboard MSC Virtuosa. We'll continue to look into this story as I think health and safety is the most important thing right now to instill confidence in cruising going forwards. Another popular cruise destination is once again on the CDC's naughty list. Let's learn more from cruisehive.com. Written by Emrys Thacker, the US CDC has added another cruise destination to its Level 4 travel advisory list. The list that already has multiple nations across the Caribbean now also has Barbados, which was previously at Level 3 for the past few months. The CDC now advises avoiding all travel to Barbados, as the island nation located in the Eastern Caribbean has been added back to its advisory list. The CDC is quoted as saying, "Because of the current situation in Barbados, even fully vaccinated travelers may be at risk for getting and spreading COVID-19 or its variants." So please note that this is just a recommendation, and cruise travel is a little bit different than other forms of travel into other countries. You're typically in a bubble when you're doing a cruise travel, and don't forget, most people that you come in contact with on your cruise have been either tested or vaccinated or both against COVID-19. The Port of San Diego just opened a few days ago, and there's been a flurry of activity in the area, and now there's yet another ship that's cruising out of there that I think many in the Midships family might be interested in hopping aboard. From Fox 5 San Diego, written by Heather Lake. What cruise passengers can expect with Koningsdam set to depart San Diego. A Holland America cruise ship is set to depart the port later this week, on one of the company's first sailings out of San Diego since the beginning of the pandemic. Friday marked the return of the local cruise industry, with 2 ships from other cruise lines departing the port. We talked about them in yesterday's Midships episode. If you haven't yet seen it, you should definitely go back and take a look. It will soon be Koningsdam's turn to set sail. The Holland America ship is making its debut to the West Coast, with 23 cruises out of San Diego, slated to take place from October 10th until April 3rd of next year. The schedule includes 15 cruises to Mexico, 6 along the California coast, and 2 with Hawaiian destinations, according to the company's website. So welcome back to Cruising Holland America. I've recently had conversations with many in the Midships audience, and I know at least a few of you have future cruises booked aboard Koningsdam. At the outset of today's episode, I teased that we have video of an iconic Carnival funnel crashing down into the ocean, and that is indeed the case. And it's probably not coming from a ship that you would have in mind. Let's find out a little bit more about this story and why the funnel is painted orange and white instead of red, white, and blue. From cruisehive.com by Robert McGilvery. Iconic funnel removed from former Carnival cruise ship. With the majority of news being highly optimistic over the last few months regarding cruise ships, it's easy to forget the heavy toll the pandemic has had on the industry. Yet it only takes one video to bring back many of these sad memories. In this case, it's the iconic funnel removed from Grand Celebration, or how it was previously known, Carnival Celebration, when it was sailing for the line. Since January of this year, the ship has been in India when it was beached, and preparations were made for the iconic ship to become scrap metal. In the video, which is now playing, the breakers have tied a cable to the hull and they pull the funnel clean off the vessel. As you see here in the video, there's not much left from the once proud and beautiful cruise ship. One of the last significant features still present on the vessel was the iconic funnel from Carnival Cruise Line. Yet even that has now gone. Obviously, Carnival Corporation sold off the Celebration to the Bahamas Paradise cruise line a few years back, and throughout the pandemic, Bahamas Paradise made the unfortunate decision to scrap the Grand Celebration to raise a little bit of extra capital to keep the company solvent. But don't fear, because the Carnival Celebration name will live on. I'm sure many of you are familiar with Carnival's newest flagship, the Carnival Mardi Gras, but did you know another flagship is currently in development, and she is to be named Carnival Celebration. Now I'd like to talk to you about cruising to Brazil, because as many of you know, cruises have yet to begin to the region, but maybe now there is a little bit of hope. From cruiseindustrynews.com, Brazil says cruising is a go. 2021 and 2022 seasons are on. With government permission now granted, cruise ships are returning to Brazil in November. After months of negotiations, the green light for the country's domestic cruise restart was announced this past Saturday. So there's going to be a lot of rules and regulations surrounding cruises in and out of Brazil. A lot of them have to do with cruise bubbles. If your cruise stops there on a port of call, you're going to have to remain in a cruise line only bubble. There's going to be no third-party shore excursions at this point. Obviously, we have reduced capacities on board ships, vaccination, testing, those sorts of things. But let's talk about cruising by the numbers going forward this year in Brazil. In total, 130 cruises and 570 cruise calls are set to take place in Brazil between November of 2021 and April of 2022. So welcome back to Cruising Brazil. Now, many of you heard my story yesterday about how MSC Cruise Lines up and changed my room that I had pre-booked on MSC Divina without telling me. But did you know that I use a very special tool when I'm booking my cruise cabins, and I'd like to share that with you now, as well as offering a discount to the first 100 Midships family members who choose to purchase the same tool. Oh, and by the way, I'm not being compensated for this. I just asked for a discount for you guys, so full transparency there. So this is the tool, and it is called cruisedeckplans.com. This is a freemium type of service. You can make an account and be a free user, but you're not going to have the full experience as you would if you're a paid member. I don't quite remember exactly what my membership costs, but it's somewhere between $7 and $10 for a year, so it's really not a whole lot of scratch. So I'm going to show you how to use the website now to look for a specific ship and to find out more and more information about actually specific cabins, which I think is really cool. Now, of note, brand new ships are not going to have a ton of information already populated, but you can still get a little bit of use out of this tool, even if you've booked on a brand new ship that's never actually been cruised on before. So let's go ahead and see how you select a specific ship, and I'm even going to show you how you can look inside specific cabins on board that ship. So to check out a ship, all you do is go to this upper left-hand corner, click on the orange ship, and pull out this little drop-down menu to choose your cruise ship. So open this drop-down and you can see there's many ships in here from all the major cruise lines. We have Carnival, Celebrity, Costa, MSC, Royal Caribbean. Pretty much any cruise ship you can think of is populated in this list. So we are going to find the Carnival Elation, and I'll go ahead and select that ship. Go ahead and click on it and just wait for the next page to load. Now from here, there's already tons of information that you're being presented with about whatever ship you've chosen, such as when it was built, how large it is, and information about specific cabins or decks on board the ship. Now there's some really cool stuff here. Starting with this tab that says Pics here, you can see actual crowdsourced pictures. These are from people that have experienced Elation that have uploaded photos to the website specifically about this ship. And it's not just outside photos of the ship. You can look at specific areas within the ship itself. So if you're curious about the Mark Twain Library, for instance, you can click in here and you can see actual photos taken from within the space on board the ship. This is actually really powerful. I'm sure a lot of your brains are working overtime now. Now, the best kept secret of this website is it actually allows you to see specific photos or even videos from inside actual cruise cabins, like the cruise cabin number that you're actually looking for. You might actually be able to see photos from inside that very cabin. You can check out the view from the balcony or the windows. So let me show you how this works. This is a really cool tool. So from the homepage here for the Carnival Elation, I'm going to choose a deck with some cabins on it. So for this demo, we'll go ahead and choose the upper deck. So once deck 6 has populated, it's going to be below here. So all you have to do is scroll down. And now let's look at the really cool stuff. You see all these little icons hanging around here, these little play buttons? These are YouTube videos. These are video tours of specific cabins. And these little orange cameras with a red circle, this indicates that this specific cabin that this is floating on has photos available from inside the cabin. So for instance, if you're looking at maybe a balcony that claims it's obstructed, this is a wonderful way to reference back and see exactly what that obstruction may just be. And I'm going to give you an example of that with balcony cabin U97. This is an interesting one, and I want to show you a little bit more. So once you click on the little orange and yellow camera, it's going to pop up another window that shows you all the available photos and videos for a specific cabin. So let's go ahead and look at what's available to see inside cabin U97. You can see here it gives you a good idea of the layout of the room, as well as when the photo was taken or uploaded. So it looks like in 2019, the cabin appears to have been updated to nice, handsome new finishes. And I want to look specifically at the balcony of this cabin. This looks really airy and spacious for a cruise cabin, so this is really leading in a good direction. But I think I see something not only in the cabin, but out on the balcony that may be a little bit bothersome. Look at this pillar right in the middle of the room. That's a little weird, right? And that's not the only weird thing about this cabin. If you look out on the balcony, there's a pillar out there as well. Right here, boom. Looks like it's right in the middle of your 2 lounge chairs. What's going on with that? So this is the most powerful part of this tool. It allows you to be super educated about a specific cabin and know exactly what you're getting into. And don't feel bad if you don't want to pay for this service, because you can still get a benefit out of cruisedeckplans.com, and I'll show you how now. So from the Elations homepage, I've just chosen the Lido deck level. We'll go ahead and scroll down here. And if you see these little flashing camera icons, these are all photos from this particular area on the ship, and these are free to view for absolutely anyone. So even if you're not a paying member, you can go ahead and check out these pictures of the pool or the atrium, whatever you would like. And so that's my short introduction to the secret tool I use, cruisedeckplanner.com, when I'm booking a specific cruise cabin for my next trip. Now, Cruise Deck Planner was kind enough to offer a 10% discount to the Midships family, and I will go ahead and put the discount code up here in the upper right-hand corner. I'll also leave it down in the description below, along with links to all the articles referenced in today's video. Now, the discount code only works for the first 100 people who sign up, and as a reminder, I don't get anything for this. It's just something to help you guys out because I think it's a really powerful tool. If you made it this far into today's video, why haven't you subscribed to the channel? And if you have an upcoming cruise booked or would love to be on a cruise soon, why don't you hit the thumbs up button and let me know? So that's going to do it for today's Midships episode. Until tomorrow, we'll see you on the Midships.